Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Karen and I am very happy to have you here today. If you hear a dog barking, I'm sorry, okay? I live in a noisy neighborhood. Since I came back from Montreal, a lot of people ask me if I dated there, if I was with a Quebecois, or how is dating in Canada and what's the difference between dating in Mexico and dating in Canada. Lucky for you, I've had my fair share of dates in Mexico and in Canada, so today I'm gonna be talking about dating in Mexico versus dating in Canada. Before I start, I just want to say that this is all from my perspective and experience. So by talking about this, I'm not generalizing that all people in Mexico and in Canada are this way. It's just my opinion, okay? With that said, I'll start. So the first thing I find different about dating in Mexico and dating in Montreal is physical contact. So in Mexico, it's common to say hi to your friends with a kiss on the cheek. So men and women who happen to be friends say hi with a kiss on the cheek. And also you can sometimes hug your friends and hold your friend's hand. It is common to show affection by touching, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're interested in someone. It just means that you care about them, but not necessarily in a romantic way. But in Canada, it's not like that. People don't show that much affection, or they do show affection, but they don't do it by touching. So it's not very common for friends to hold hands or to hug or to kiss on the cheek when they say hi. Only people who are dating hold hands and hug and kiss, and sometimes they take time to do that. This was a big issue for me because when I just arrived to Montreal, I used to hug everyone and kiss everyone on the cheek, and my male friends always thought that I was flirting with them or that I had a romantic interest in them, and that was not the case. So yeah, be careful who you hug and kiss on the cheek if you go to Canada. Now, talking about affection, the second thing that I found different from dating in Canada and Montreal is the way you show affection. So in Mexico, it's very common that couples make each other compliments like,
"You look so beautiful today," or "Oh my god, you are so handsome," or "I'm so lucky to have you."
It is very common to do this on the flirting stage or when you're already a couple. But in Canada, with my friends that were in a relationship, I didn't see it that often. And even when I dated guys in Montreal, like, they rarely told me that. And not because they didn't think I was beautiful or that they were lucky to have me. They are just not used to say it all the time or every day. Yeah, they show their affection in different ways. The third thing that is different in both countries is the way men treat women. So Canada is a country where men and women are equal. So I remember that a lot of my friends who are girls told me that they don't like when a guy opens the door for them, or when they pay for dinner, or when they carry heavy stuff for them, because they feel less or useless. So that's why a lot of men in Canada are not gentlemen, because a lot of women don't like that. In my case, I do like when men are gentlemen. I really appreciate the gesture, and it's just nice. It is also very attractive. But I must say that not all men in Canada are not gentlemen. There are a lot of men who are. They are gentlemen, but it's funny because they are like a different kind of gentleman. I'll explain. I used to date a guy who didn't open doors for me. He didn't open the car door or any type of door for me, and it was weird for me at the beginning because I was so used to that. But instead, he used to pay for dinner and he used to buy me gifts, and also he made sure that I had everything I needed. Another example is I used to date this other guy who also didn't open any doors for me, but when I was cool, he used to give me his jacket, and also he used to pay for dinner or for breakfast, for pretty much whatever I wanted. And also when we used to go to any place, he picked me up at my place, and when we were done, he would return me home safely. Now, in Mexican culture, men are gentlemen. Not all of them, but most of them, or at least the ones I know. Men are gentlemen, not just with the woman they want to be with or they are romantically interested in. That's the way you say it. But they, in general, are gentlemen to women because since they are young, I repeat, depending on the family, they teach them how to treat women and they raise them to treat women right. For example, lots of my guy friends here open doors for me or help me carry heavy stuff, or they give me their jacket, or they make sure that I arrive home safely. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be my boyfriend or that they want to get something from me. It's just that that's the way they are. I must say that some men are like that because they are flirts, but you'll notice. So, with this said, how do you differentiate when a man is being a gentleman just because he's like that, or when he's a gentleman because he likes you? That's the big question. So in my experience, when they want to date you, they will do even more things. Well, it depends on the man, but you can tell because they will do things that they don't normally do. They would be even more gentlemanly with you. Is that a word? Well, that's what they do. But you will know when a guy likes you here, at least the ones I've met and my friends. Yeah, normally they are more straightforward. Not all of them, but normally it's easy to notice. Number 4, this is a big one. Like, this is an enormous difference for me. So when you become boyfriend and girlfriend in Mexico, normally, right now it's changing, but normally the guy is the one who asks the woman, do you want to be my girlfriend? Or something like that. So men ask women if they want to be their girlfriend in many ways here. There are men that prepare a whole show, like flowers and teddy bears and candles and all of that. And like a proposal, basically. And there are men that are just like, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? So it really depends, but in Mexico, at least, somebody in the relationship has to ask and agree if they want to be a couple, basically. So in Canada, it's not like that. You just start hanging out with someone and at some point you just start dating. I don't know, I really don't know how that works because it still confuses me, but at some point you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, magically. So it happened to me a while ago when I was dating this guy that I thought that we were just like hanging out and getting to know each other, and I really didn't know what we were because he never asked me if I wanted to be his girlfriend. So for me, we were just like, oh, okay, like we're just like in the flirting stage or something like that. But one day we went out and he introduced me to his friends and he said, meet my girlfriend. And I was just like, what? So I was pretty shocked and I asked him like, hey, I didn't know I was your girlfriend, like you never asked me. And he said like, well, like here when you start just like hanging out with someone, at some point they just become your boyfriend or girlfriend. And yeah, I'm still not used to that. Now the 5th thing that I find different about dating in Canada and in Mexico is texting. So I don't know why, but in Canada, or at least in Montreal, not many people have WhatsApp, and normally people don't text that often. So when you start flirting with someone, or when you start liking someone and you start getting to know each other and you start texting, they can respond within hours or sometimes within days, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they are not interested. They just don't look at the damn phone. Don't ask me why, they just don't. Or at least the people I was with and my friends and people I saw there, they just don't do that. Even on the streets, I would be walking, and when I saw like people on their phones, I would rarely see them texting. They would be like doing other stuff, like watching pictures or playing. Yeah, and it didn't happen to me just once. Like constantly I would see people on their phones, and even like my Quebecois friends or my friends in Montreal, like they would rarely text. Whereas in Mexico, people talk on WhatsApp all the time. All the time. Like I was not used to that when I came back, but yeah, I didn't remember that people talk on WhatsApp all the time. So when you start flirting with someone, or when you start dating someone, you are constantly texting each other. You're constantly like, oh, what are you doing, or how is this, blah blah blah. Like you're constantly talking. And if you take hours to reply, or if you take days, when you reply you have to excuse yourself. You have to say something like,
Sorry, I was busy, or sorry, I was in the office, or sorry, I was in class.
if you don't reply back, that means that you're not interested. So people will get discouraged if you just don't text back quickly, and they will just stop texting you. Or some people just won't ever stop texting you even though you never answer. They will just keep texting you and texting you and texting you and saying hello, hello, how are you, how are you, how are you? And yeah. And the last thing I will talk about in this video is family dynamics. So in Canada, it is pretty common that people move from their parents' house at a very young age, like at 18, 19. It's young for me. So when their loved one or partner or whatever comes to their house, like they are alone, or if they have roommates, they see their roommates, but basically they don't get to see the family that often, and they pretty much can do whatever they want. But in Mexico, on the other hand, most people still live with their parents until they get married. So when they invite their loved one, they have to get along with the family, and they have to constantly see the family and be with them. So if you go and see your loved one and see their family and you just don't get along with the family, you're well, I'm kidding, like, no, but like, it's not that nice if you don't get along with the family of your loved one. It can be an issue in the future. Just imagine, you will keep seeing this person's family as long as you're dating. And if you get married, you'll see them forever. But I don't want to scare you. There are families that are super nice, so yeah, don't be scared. Alright, so that's it for today's video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notifications bell. And also please tell me in the comments if you want me to make more videos like this, explaining my dating experiences and my dating stories in both countries. Just let me know. And also, I want to know, how is dating in your country? Are there any rules? How does that work? Please tell me in the comments. I am sending you loads of love, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!